Now, because Cole is hurt, the Yankees are looking for an opening day starter. Now, Aaron Boone has said, he knows who it's going to be. And we talked about this yesterday because the news kind of broke during the show. I want to get Don's take because, I'm listening today as I'm driving in, and a lot of people are killing Marcus Stroman. Now, there are two sides to this, and I can understand why it's a different world, everybody. When Casey Stengel would say to Whitey Ford, "You're pitching tomorrow," there wasn't going, "No, it's not on my."
Right.
He's pitching tomorrow. They would drop a ball in your shoe and you're pitching. That's all there is to it. There was no pushback. Well, Boone and Cashman met with Stroman and to ask him if he wanted to start opening day, and he said, "I don't want to break my routine. I don't want to do that." And then he said today, well, they agreed. He said, "To me, it's not that big a deal to start opening day." And that's why I want to defend him a little bit. Opening day has the pomp and circumstance, but what does it mean? It's one game out of 162. But there is an honor to it. But he's also having the honor of starting the opener at home against the Blue Jays, his former team. I don't think he wants to get out of that. If he starts opening day in Houston, he's not starting the home opener.
When I think opening day, I'm thinking home. That's the pomp and circumstance. There's going to be pomp and circumstance around the Astros, but does it matter who's pitching for the Yankees? To a Yankee fan, I guess there is an honor to be the first pitcher, but isn't it more of a big deal, Peter, in your own building?
You know what? Do you have a problem with Stroman saying no?
No, I don't, for two reasons. Number one, I think his end game is to start the first game at Yankee Stadium. And you've always told me, athletes are creatures of habit, especially pitchers. So routine is very important to him. He wants to give an impression early. He really wants to make this work. So I'm going to err on the side that he feels like he's doing the right thing. I don't think he's being that guy.
Okay,
when I saw the story yesterday, I really didn't raise an eyebrow. I didn't think he was being a bad guy. I thought, all right, listen, he's a creature of habit, and he's probably angling for opening day at the stadium.
All right, so let me just flip it over on its side a little bit. You want to be that guy. You want to be the guy that everybody says, you're the guy. We need somebody. We go to Marcus. Brian Cashman and Aaron Boone call you into the office. They want you to start. You start.
That's interesting because yesterday I wasn't thinking about the fact that it would have thrown him out of that home opener against Toronto.
Right.
And let's remove the Toronto part even. I'm sure it's part of it. Home openers.
It's probably a throw for him.
But now it is interesting. They sit you down and they go, "Hey, here's what we'd like to do." Even though I understand, and I don't want to beat the guy up just because he's been annoying in the past, it is sort of an indicator you don't love, though, in terms of, it being a guy who's going to be the dude. They sat down. They said, "We want you to be the dude. We're asking you right now. We are in a crunch. This is not what we planned on. Garrett Cole's unavailable. We need you." And he goes, "I like my routine." I don't think it's ideal.
Well, the only thing I could say is that the other three people that are up for this, if you told Rodon, Schmidt, or Cortez, "We want you to be that guy," they would do it. Even if it throws them off their routine.
I need tone. I need context. I don't want to give up too much information, but we had a situation here at the station where the way we were asked something kind of changed how we responded. It's the same way in life. If Boone brings him in and Cash brings Stroman and say, "Listen, would you be interested in starting opening day?
We're thinking about
using you at opening day. It might affect you being the opening day starter at Yankee Stadium. It might take you out of your routine. So we'll understand if you say no, but would you be willing?" Then if you say no, it's like, okay. But if you go in and say, "Listen, we really need you. Can you help us out? Can you pitch opening day?" And then he says no, then he's a nozzle. I really need to know.
You know what's on, but you don't know the question. This is why we are sports talk radio hacks.
Oh, no.
Because you have to just make up whatever was said and then yell at him accordingly. Why are you being rational and pointing out that the tone of conversation changes everything?
No, because I don't want to go on record ripping the guy, and then I find out that the context does matter.
Of course it does. If they sat down, do we know that they only sat down with him?
That's what's coming out. I don't think that's fair to Marcus Stroman that got out. If you asked him to start and he said no, it shouldn't be out there. Shouldn't be out there. Why do you want your player to look bad?
Yeah, exactly. So all right, let's look into that side of it. Who leaked it? And does that give us an indication of what the tone was? So if the Yankees are mad at him, then why would they want to throw their player under the bus? If it's not a big deal, maybe it wasn't leaked out. It just kind of came out because it's not that big of a deal. If Stroman's side leaked it out, how does that benefit him? I don't think it's God. It's amazing with this team, Peter, right? Like
it's amazing with the sport.
Well, but it's because I was down there and it was only one day, but I really feel bad for those guys. I know it's Florida and it's the winter, so you feel like, they're lucky to have it. It's such a long camp. Like, I just couldn't believe, like, talking to some of those guys, like in every other sport, even football, they narrowed it down now to 3 preseason games. Hockey and basketball, they get together for 2 weeks, they play like 5 preseason games, bang, the season starts. This is 6
But don't you
weeks.
feel sorry for Jet beat writers when they had to live, for a month and a half
because
in
they had to go to Cortland when the Giants had to go to Albany. I get it, but it's still like 6 weeks, and not every day.
It's different, though, Don. It's also, for football, once the regular season starts, after your game, you're sleeping at home. You sleep home. These guys are on the road constantly
Peter,
for 6 months.
But you're there for 6 weeks. You got to justify your existence every single day. So sometimes there's no story, but they can't not write a story.
Right.
They can't say, nothing happened today. We'll see you on Tuesday. No, so they've got to write something. So every story becomes a big deal. But when you really look at it, is it that big of a deal?
Right.
Like, listen, I don't want to sit here and just blindly defend Stroman. I like him, but I do think he can be nozzly at times. But, like, every time he makes a move or says something, is that the way we're just going to dissect it like a fine-tooth comb?
Yep.
Every single time?
Well, we're in the middle of the Pinstripe Report brought to you by Samuel Institute for Pain Management. Crowd is filing in here at the Rutherford. There's a lot of excitement around the Garden.
There's a buzz.
There's a buzz.
Yeah. You're sensing buzz?
Oh, yeah. Yesterday, the Garden was really loud for St. John's, which is unbelievable.
Why not? It's their home court.
And now they're playing on the Friday of the Big East tournament for the first time in 24 years.
You know what?
24 years.
We got to give credit where credit is due. I mean, I trashed Rick Pitino a few weeks ago. It has been a bounce back few weeks for this program.
But you trashed his
he trashed the team.
Well, he trashed the team, and I trashed him for his approach. But hey, listen, he was wrong, and so was I. Because here we are, Friday of the Big East tournament, and they got a meaningful game.
I don't think he really meant it as the work that he ended up claiming it was, but we always thought he was a good coach.
Well, he did say to the team, he said, all right, now we have to play 7 elimination games to get where we want to go, which was the Big East final. This is Game 7. They've won all the other 6 against good teams. So they've stepped up, and they've done very, very well. I don't think they're going to beat UConn. We'll see. UConn's a special, special team. Well, anyway, you've heard the Pinstripe Report brought to you by Samuel Institute for Pain Management. For pain-free life, visit SamuelPain.com today.